Welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy Fold 3 from 2021. Now, I bought this phone a week ago, a little bit over that, and I was really curious about what it would be like to use a Fold used from a couple years ago because I've always been really interested in it. You know, I have a lot of Apple products, but I do miss being on Android, and with all the folding phones coming out now, it just looks like a great time to just test it out and see what it's like. So I went on Amazon and I bought a renewed one. So Amazon has this program called Renewed. You can buy used products such as cell phones that they supposedly verify and check that is in good condition, and they will resell it to you. So this comes with like a 90-day return policy, so I wasn't too worried about it. Now, I received the phone. I have a lot of things to say about the phone. I have a lot of things to say about the Amazon program and what they say versus what is delivered. So let's get into it. Let's talk about the specs. This phone flies through any task that I've put it through so far. I haven't gamed on it though, so that's the one thing. I've downloaded the Xbox streaming app. I really want to try connecting my controller to it and doing some streaming gaming from my Xbox Series X onto this phone because, I mean, just the larger screen would be great for it. But in any case, I've been doing a lot of productivity work on this phone, which is really why I bought it, because I wanted to have something that I could use on the go for various tasks and possibly one day running some kind of business on. So let's get into how it performs. It's got 12 gigs of RAM, so I haven't noticed any issues with running apps and running many apps at once. You can run up to 4 apps at the same time when you're using the large interior display, which is about 7.6 inches. Outside is like 6.7 inches, both AMOLED, 120 hertz, and they look fantastic. So really great screens, and we'll get to an issue with the screens later in the video, which could be make or break. But in any case, you also have an under-screen camera on the inner screen, the large screen. So they tried to hide it, and well, frankly, they didn't do a great job. You can still see where the camera is, but it's definitely not like a hole punch, but it's more so a hole punch with pixels in it. And then when you're trying to use it, it'll do for like a Zoom call or any kind of like WhatsApp call, but you're not gonna take amazing selfies with it. If you wanna take selfies, use the exterior screen's selfie camera, which is a hole punch camera, or just like use the phone like flipped out, but you can use the exterior slim screen, but the exterior cameras as well. So you have a huge viewfinder, and then you get the great cameras that are on the exterior of the phone, the back of the phone, and now you have like the best selfie cameras. You have the wide, ultra wide, and telephoto, and they are all 12 megapixels, and the pictures look fantastic. You can check out this picture I have of a rose and a video here and picture of a Lego Mustang I recently built, and they are just fantastic. So getting back to the specs, it is 16 millimeters thin or thick, however you want to put it. So it is a chunky phone. I mean, it really is like two very slim iPhone XS's put together. When it's unfolded, it feels really thin and super light just because the weight is distributed really well. It has S Pen support, which has been fantastic. I love taking notes on it. I have an iPad Pro that I take notes on, but I actually have been pulling out the Fold more often because it's smaller, it's lighter. It kind of gives the feel of like an iPad mini, the new generation that's almost bezel-less, that kind of feeling in the hand. So it's just easy when I'm sitting on the couch to take some notes on upcoming videos or write an outline for this video. And I use the OneNote app, which is well optimized for S Pen support and this phone. So that being said, you can also use the S Pen as a camera shutter. So you could like hold it and take a picture, set down the phone somewhere. And since you can prop it up and just like fold it at a 90-degree angle, you could take some pretty cool photos, or if you want to take TikToks, whatever it is, you just set it down and it'll hold itself. You don't need a stand. So another great thing. Now, the battery life. That is hit or miss. If you're not using the inner screen much, great. You know, it has a 4,400 milliamp hour battery. It's a dual battery, so it's split between the two halves, and it's good. However, if you're doing a lot of heavy use of the inner screen, using it for YouTube, using it for Outlook, checking emails, things like that, you're gonna drain the battery. I don't know if you would make it through a whole day if you're just using that inner screen. With heavy use, I think you'd probably have to charge. But so far, I leave it on a wireless charger a lot when I'm home, or just in between tasks. I'll just set it down. So that hasn't been really an issue for me. It has fast wireless charging, 25 watts. And then it also has reverse charging. So you can charge your Galaxy Buds or any other wireless charging product on the back. So that's really cool. And I also got the green color, forgot to mention that. I love the satin finish on the glass. I really like that on my iPhone 14 Pro. And I think it's a great feature here as well. You've got a stainless steel around the bezels, and then on the hinge as well. The hinge, it is a strong hinge, but at times it's a little too strong. So you can't really do much of the functions like with one hand. You can't just like flip it open or anything like that. It's a two-handed product for sure, especially like when it's closed. It's like this. It's not closed all the way. So there's a little gap which dust or lint can get into, and when it's in your pocket. I wear a lot of those Lululemon ABC pants. I know, but it fits well in those pants. Now, when I'm wearing jeans, different story, or gym shorts. This phone is big. I mean, it's thick, it's heavy, and it's really tall. It's got almost like an inch on my iPhone, and it's just a little too large. It's why I actually went from a Pro Max to a Pro on my most recent iPhone, because it's just too big to go to the gym with, or if I'm riding a bike, like I know it's not going to fall out, whereas these bigger phones, that is an issue. So you have to be cognizant that this is a big phone. It's not going to fit in a car mount. It's not going to fit in a lot of wireless chargers in cars as well. It's just too tall. It's very skinny, but it's too tall to fit in most of those situations. And with it being so heavy and so thick, it also won't fit in those car mounts for GPS and things like that. So it's like these little things day to day that you do have to account for that are going to be different than any other rectangular slab phone. That's definitely something you got to think about. Now, let's get to the pros and the cons. So this phone has a lot of pros, and it has some cons, but some of those are due to it being purchased used. I mean, one, a Pro. This thing gets a lot of attention. I took it to work, and a lot of people came up to me and they're like, whoa, well, like, what is that? And they're just amazed of a folding phone. I mean, I'm still amazed by it. That's why I wanted to get my hands on it. It's cool. It definitely is a head turner, but it actually is useful. I think this form factor of having a screen on the outside and then a larger screen on the inside is going to be the way forward. There's also the Flip 4 and the Flip 3, I guess, in this case. And that one is just kind of for the novelty of it, to just be able to snap it closed like you're on a call and like But no, I mean, it just doesn't bring that much more functionality, other than maybe being able to set it down and take a picture or video without a stand. But that's it. So this phone actually does bring added functionality, does bring added productivity, but in any case, it's got that wow factor, and people will ask you about it because it's still new enough. Like, it's still a thing that isn't that popular that people will notice it. And so that goes to the next item, the screen on the inside. This is a con, specifically for someone buying it used. So this phone came out August 2021. There has been a more recent model, the Fold 4, has a slightly bigger outside screen and a couple other improvements, but overall, very similar phone to the Fold 4. Now, because it's 2 years old almost, it's got some issues. So obviously, I bought it from the Renewed program from Amazon. It's a used phone, and you can tell. the interior screen does not look good. I mean, there is, like, the actual screen looks good, but it's got a big issue in the middle where the top layer of the screen, which is a glass and plastic composite, it looks like a screen protector, but it's not. It's part of the screen. You're not supposed to take it off. That part is peeling off. So every time I open and close the phone, I get this really bad sound, which is that part of the screen peeling off again. Because as you use it, you kind of push it down as if like the screen protector was lifted up, but then when you close it, it'll lift up. So that's an issue with this phone. One thing about this phone is that, like I mentioned, it doesn't close all the way. Now at the end it closes, but it's kind of like a triangle. So the end by the hinge does not close all the way. There's a gap. And they made that gap so that, you know, you could fit the interior screen. It's just physics, or else it would have to like slide. That is a thing that other phones will do in this categories where they have a sliding screen that will compensate for the fold. This does not have it. It is a non-movable screen. So to be able to do that, they had to create a gap in there for when you fold it. That gap does not help in the long term. I've seen this with the Flip 3 and 4. My cousin has one where the middle of the screen will start to peel off. It looks like it's cracking almost, and I think that's attributed to the glass that's in there. They wanted to make it feel more like a premium product, whereas the first generation was all plastic. These ones feel more like glass, but in any case, they peel off. So there's a top layer that's peeling off, and dust can get in there, and it's not good, and it does affect how you use it. If you're using it and there's any kind of light shining on it, it'll reflect off of it, and it's hard to see things like in that area. It's just not good. So that's a big issue of buying one of these used. The reliability on the front of screen, that's not good. I mean, that's something to really consider. But otherwise, super speedy, no problem on that end. I think the cameras are great quality. They film in 4K 60. The performance has been great. Other than that, I really don't have many cons other than what I mentioned before about the size and the weight. I really like this phone. I really do. And I think if they can solve that issue from a reliability standpoint, they've knocked it out of the park, because it's a great product. Now, what did I pay for this thing? I mean, you could probably go on Amazon and check for yourself, but I'm gonna tell you right now. This phone new was $1,700. There's a 256 gig, 512, and a terabyte. I paid $750 renewed for this product. And it was supposedly supposed to be an excellent quality. It's not. I mean, other than that, it is. But that inner screen issue, that's a bummer. So I'm not sure if I'm gonna keep it or not, just because it's a lot of money to spend on something where the screen is literally coming apart. But other than that, the phone works great. I've had issues with this Amazon Renewed program before, and I can't recommend using it. I've had to return a phone before in the past. It was an iPhone XS, I think, and it's just not reliable. The way Amazon does it is third parties will often be the ones to actually provide the product. And so there's not a lot of control that can be had by Amazon on this Renewed program, other than just guaranteeing a 90-day return policy. And in some cases, not even that 90-day return policy. Actually, the one I ordered is only 30 days because it was through Amazon Warehouse, which I didn't realize when I ordered it. But overall, I really like this phone. It's very cool. It runs great. It is great for people who want to increase their productivity on the go. I love that aspect. And would I recommend buying it used? No. If you have the financial ability to buy one of these new, and you can, I wouldn't think twice. I think it's awesome. It's great. I mean, in the end, it's gonna be your phone. It might be a second phone. Like for me, it's a second phone. I really like it. It's really fun. I will still always have my iPhone because it just takes better videos. It's more secure, iMessage. But this Fold is the one that I reach for now, even with the issue with the screen. So leave in the comments what you want to see next. I hope you enjoyed this mini review. I'm gonna try to keep it up with the tech reviews. I love tech. I'm always buying new things and trying it out. My girlfriend hates it because there's always new things showing up and like, why'd you buy this? I just love it. But yeah, thank you so much for watching my videos. I really appreciate it every time. Please like, subscribe. I would love to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of the year. It's a tall ask since I had this YouTube channel for a couple years and I'm still not even at 200 subscribers, but then again, you never know. Thank you so much. I'll catch you in the next one.